an Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is to preview the Watford versus Arsenal game. We play this game tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening-ish. I say evening-ish, late afternoon. And this is a game that typically over the years we always find very difficult. Actually, recent history, through sheer luck, um, hasn't been too bad. I think we won the game last season through a very fortunate means because our normal terrorist in that game, which is Troy Deeney, was sent off in that game harshly, if I'm being honest. And we ended up winning that game 1-0. I mean, even against 10 men, we found that game quite difficult. And going ahead in this game, I'm expecting it to be just as difficult, to be perfectly honest. Although Deeney is not going to be there, I suppose that's the big news to come out from this particular game, is that Deeney, I believe, is injured. And Watford are at the bottom of the league, weirdly. And they've already sacked their manager, and they've rehired Flores, who produced good results for them previously. I think he led them once to 13th in the league, something like that. So yes, I am streaming early. It is, rather than a late night with Chig, it's an early morning with Chig. So good morning, everybody. Well, depending on where you are around the world, it could be afternoon. So good morning, good afternoon to everyone. So yeah, going ahead and looking ahead to the game. Going into the game, we have picked up stupid little minor injuries, which I guess is a disappointment. Obviously, we know that Lacazette picked up an injury. That was confirmed yesterday. Pretty disappointing because he didn't go anywhere. But I think a lot of us knew that he was nursing an injury pretty early on in the start of the season. I think subsequently that's just gotten worse through playing and training, and I think it's been confirmed now that he's injured. Lacazette himself said that he started rehab on his injury, and what they've basically said is that he's going to be out a few weeks, whatever that means. Firepower-wise, we should be okay. It's obviously a blow because I think a lot of us are eager for Pepe, Uber, and Laka to start together and hit the ground running together. I think it will happen. We just may need to wait a little bit longer for it. And I think against a Watford team, we might need to be a little bit mindful. Physically, they're a very present side. They like combating us a lot. They like the physicality. And I think a lot of the whole cojones thing came from the fact that as Arsenal players, we're seen to be players that don't like the physical battle, that don't like the physical contest. And I think, added to the fact that they also now have a new manager, there will be a new manager bounce back. They'll be determined to do well against a side that they will honestly believe they can do well against. From our point of view, we need to keep them down. We need to keep them as down as possible. I have nothing against Watford. This is just about us getting 3 points. We need to start racking 3 points against these kind of teams. Watford are a good side. Forget where they are in the league. They're a good side. But we need to just make sure that we remind them we're a better side. In terms of the trip, for those people who live outside of the UK, Watford is literally around the corner. In fact, I think our training grounds are right next to each other. So in terms of, it is an away trip without it being an away trip, if that makes sense. So we should always go there with a bit of a swagger and turn it into a contest and turn it into a game which we can win. I think for us and for me, I just want to see a really grown man's performance here. I still think when people ask me the question in my Q&As and stuff, and people ask me, do you think we're a better side than that last season? I think we're still defending like trash, but I do believe overall we're a stronger side. And I'd like us to show it in a game like this. And let's see if we can do it. Moving ahead in terms of the starting lineup, I'm going to make some controversial calls. Because people are hard of hearing when I say, I always do my 1 to 11, my hopeful 1 to 11. I've done that from the very start of this channel because I've always said that it's always difficult to know what a manager is going to do. So I never try and predict what a manager is going to do. But you still have idiots that will come into the chat and be like, oh, well, like Emery's going to play him. I don't give a damn what Emery's going to do. I'm talking about what I would do. For the record, in terms of team-wise and given our injuries, I think that Emery will more or less stick with the side that played against Spurs, albeit you'll take Lacazette out of the side because obviously Lacazette's injured. And I believe, unless someone tells me different, that Torreira will probably not be in the side because I think he's also injured. I do think Emery will keep faith with Xhaka because Emery has more or less come out and said Xhaka is undroppable, which to me is, I mean, if there's one disappointing aspect about Emery, to me that was one of the most disappointing things to hear. I don't think any player, yes, even Pepe or Uber, any player should be undroppable. I think every player should feel like they need to work hard to stay in the team. And it's, to me, in my opinion, a lot of the reason why Xhaka makes the mistakes he makes is because I think he's always had that almost reassurance from the previous manager and now the current manager that he is undroppable. Like, what are you talking about? Someone like that should not be undroppable. They should be dropped. Do you know what? Take again my personal feelings out of it about the fact he shouldn't be in the team, right? To me, I think Emery is starting to set a dangerous precedent that he has his favourites and his favourites are allowed to get away with mistakes. And to me, someone like a Callum Chambers, for example, and yes, you guys know I'm a massive advocate of his, but someone like a Chambers who didn't do anything wrong against Newcastle, I thought he was one of our best players against Newcastle, got dropped after that game, whereas people like Luis and Granit Xhaka keep their place in the side, which makes no form of sense to me. It just sends the wrong message that you're not promoting excellence. You're not promoting people who need to be able to do well to stay in the side. And that's the message that I personally will try and set in the teams that I set out. So if you see an unusual name and you think to yourself, why would you play him? Emery's not going to play him. I'm aware of this. This is what I would do if I'm manager. So with that being said, this is my 1 to 11. I'm going to share the screen with you guys. So I hope you guys see it. Bear with. Keep yourself entertained for 2 seconds. Imagine back on the go. All right, you should be able to see this. So this is my 1 to 11 using the power of football formation, create a subs and make your own soccer team. Now, I hope you can see that. Yes, you can. Can you see that? Do you want me to get that larger? I'll tell you what, let me make that larger because I don't think you can see that. Stop sharing. 2 secs. Torreira is fit. Okay. Oh my God. Do my entire screen. And right, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. So I've gone on the assumption that Torreira is not fit. So I want you to keep that in mind before you react. So this is the team that I would play against Watford. Now, what I've tried to do is I've tried to get the best out of people and also give us an option of changing the formation if we need to. right? So this is a team that I've gone with. So I've gone with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I've gone with Leno in goal because, of course, Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the right-hand side. We just need him there. I know Hector is back up and running, but I think it will also take a few weeks before Hector is really back up and running. So I think Ainsley continues in his place, bombing up on the right-hand side. And let's see if him and Pepe can continue their understanding. I've gone with Socrates. Now, I'll be honest, I wanted to drop Socrates. I think he's been terrible this season. And for people asking who do I think has been worse out of these two, as much as I have a lot of criticism and apprehension about David Luiz, I actually think it's been Socrates. Even for his country, I watched him the other day, and he weren't that convincing to me. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I'd be looking to drop him. Now, for those people who are saying that, that Torreira is injured, if Torreira's fit, if Torreira's fit, I drop Socrates, bring Luiz back here, and then put Torreira here, of course. For those people who believe he's a DM, I'm not as convinced, but all right, cool, whatever. But for now, I'm going to go with the physicality of these two, and I put Socrates in there. I'm bringing Chambers back into the squad because what the fuck? I don't even know why he was dropped in the first place. Sorry, the only other thing I do different is I do that. So yeah, so I've gone with Chambers just because I believe he shouldn't have been dropped in the first place. And I feel like the good thing about this is that if it gets on top and we need to swap the formation, you can drop Luiz in there, push those two up. So I think that gives you an option of doing that. And that's exactly why I've gone with those three almost in the core of our defensive shape. I think Kolasinac will do what Kolasinac does. I think because of that, Ceballos is probably going to have to drop sometimes and help. The other option you have, of course, is that if you wanted to move these guys and do it that way, then maybe Guendouzi is a little bit more qualified to just drop into that hole in case Kolasinac goes missing, which he will at some point during the game. I've gone with these two, of course. Now, you notice I played Ceballos a little bit deeper. I just think Ceballos will naturally do this, where I think a lot of people would have expected him to start here in my shape and maybe Guendouzi a little bit deeper. But actually, I don't think that will be necessary against Watford. I think having him do that just gives him a little bit of defensive responsibilities. Ceballos is very good at tracking back, putting in the occasional tackle. So I'm starting him here. I fully expected him to do his work around here, though. So do keep that in mind. I've gone with Pepe, of course. I think that Emre will probably pay Pepe up front with Uber in a similar way to how he started. I think it was against Liverpool. I'd actually play to Pepe's strengths, and I don't think he's necessarily a striker. I think play him on that right-hand side and let him cause their defence some nerves. I'm not sure who plays left-back for them. I was going to say Yamat, but I think Yamat is a right-back. So I think just let him do his thing and let him terrorise. Why not play the youngster? Obviously we've lost Lacazette and we need a lateral left winger. A lot of people may suggest playing, what's his name? Playing Saka. I love Saka. You guys know this. I just want another season of seasoning, so to speak, with Saka. Whereas with Martinelli, I actually think the kid might be ready. Now, a lot of people might be telling me right now in the chat, and I haven't checked yet, but I'll check in a minute, that he's injured. On the assumption he's fit, people. On the assumption he's fit, then I'd play him on that left-hand side. And then I play Uber up top. Because I think Uber, in this shape, will relish the opportunity. I guess the only question is a service. So a lot of people might be questioning, where's the service coming from? Well, I do think Ceballos will be able to do that. I think balls over the top from this guy who's clearly on form, that will also be able to happen as well. I think Luiz, you just tell Luiz to just sit there. Don't do shit, just sit there. And I think with the constant bombing from Although Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I noticed, has stopped bombing forward as much as he used to. I think he's a little bit worried defensively about himself, so he's just stopped doing that. Kolasinac is just going to keep bombing. And I think because of that, he may support him quite well. So this is the shape that I would do. Let me see what you guys think of the team. Probably cussing my ass off. Let me see. Let me go into the chat and see what you guys are saying. I will give my score predictions very, very shortly. You guys also give your score predictions. I think it's difficult to choose between Martinelli and Nelson in this match. For me, I love Nelson. He's not a left winger. I think that's the ones in the opening game proved to me. And I think he played the next game after that. He's not no left winger. And that's the reason that I've not opted for Nelson in that position. I think it's possible the manager might. I know he rates Nelson highly. I just don't think he's a left winger. Brother, I had to do a fucking preview. That's the reason. I was going to do one last night, but I decided to do one today. Ain't that early, bro. It's coming up to 10 p.m. 10 p.m., 10 a.m. I think it's likely we'll play with a back three. Me too. Master, me too. We'll win by 2 goals. Okay, some predictions flying in. I like to see Martinelli. Okay. You guys so far don't seem to hate the team. Hello to you, Herb. Hello to you, man. Hello to you, mate. And Martinelli's work rate is also very good. Exactly. And this is my thought process. And I think you need to start blooding him in, particularly if Lacazette is going to be out for a few weeks. You might want a variety of different options. And I think that that's what Martinelli gives you. Martinelli's not injured. Nelson on the bench, yeah. For me, he's on the bench. I'll definitely have him as an option on the bench. As you mentioned, Niles midfield, Mustafi at right back. No. What? Why are people trying to involve Mustafi back again? No. I love Troops because I know Troops is a big proponent of that. I did see. Although I haven't watched the video yet, I did see the AFTV headline that came up about Troops thinks that Mustafi should play right back. No. No. Stop trying to shoehorn him in because you want Ainsley Maitland-Niles to be a midfielder. I want him to be a midfielder too, but not at the expense. Or I would actually rather Ainsley Maitland-Niles as right back than Mustafi. I'm sorry. Mustafi, I don't want another error-prone guy in our defense. No, thank you. We've got enough problems with Xhaka playing. And let's be real, Xhaka will probably play. So, no. Love that 11. Okay, good. God, my gosh, it's not every day I put out an 11 that people actually love. So, good, that's positive. 2-1 Arsenal. 2-0 Arsenal. Okay, people are confident, yo. People are confident. When we get our back line all fit, we will kill the league. Okay, I think that's meant to say league, but that's confidence for you. Joseph, 2-1 to Arsenal. Yo, Chig, it's 4 a.m. in Jamaica. Sorry to wake you, brother. Sorry to wake you. Like, what are you even doing up? I'm about to sleep, bro. Ramadan. Damn, long time no see, my brother. Long time no see. Not an easy game, 2-1. I think, for me, and I know a lot of people have asked for my predictions, so let me do it now. I think this will be a difficult game. And to be honest, the reason I'm a bit hesitating giving the prediction it's a difficult one to call. Normally, Troy Deeney is the one that terrorizes our defense, and somehow we make him come out like he's a prime Ibrahimovic. The fact that he's not playing helps. And I feel like with us, we just need to concentrate. If we concentrate, even without Lacazette, we should beat them. We do have a decent record at Watford, which is really weird Because actually, I'd be more nervous if this was at the Emirates. Because Watford have a really, really good record at the Emirates. Uh, at Vicarage Road, it tends to be a mixed bag. We did beat them last season with a really crap team. We have a better team. I think we have more hungrier individuals. I think Uber is desperate to try and get a golden boot again. To me, nothing wrong with that. I think he's in decent form. Pepe, I think, will be eager to get his first goal. I don't know if this necessarily will be the game he does that, just purely on the basis that I think Watford are such a physical outfit that the physicality might be a shock for him. I expect Pepe to get his first goal at home against the team. Away, it might be a bit more difficult. A little part of me hopes he gets his first goal against United, because that would be a hell of a way to announce yourself. But I think it'll be difficult. I've changed my mind twice on this, but I'm going with this. I'm going to go Watford 0, Arsenal 2. That is my prediction for this game. Right, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Leave it in the chat room. I'm literally going to stay on for another 9 minutes, and then I'm going back to bed. So 9 more minutes. I doubt Tierney and Bellerin will be playing at Watford, nor should they. I think Tierney, if it'd be more likely that Tierney will make an appearance if it was at home, but actually I think their first game should be at home. Get the crowd behind them, get them lifted, get a big ovation for them, get their confidence right up. That's the reason you do those things. It's a psychology move. Oh, what's that? To me, I think Saka's the best left winger out of the young bunch. Very possibly, but that's the reason that I'd want to look after him. Listen, I'm Nigerian, so I want Saka to do well. But because I remember the Iwobi stuff, I want us to look after him. I don't want us to overexpose him. So I see a lot of starting lineups with Saka's name in it. I'm like, oh, no. Because I just have Iwobi flashbacks. Just look after him. Be easy. There's time. We've got time with Saka. My man's just turned 18. We've got time. And also with Saka, I'm not worried because I think Martinelli will be a striker. So I think the idea with Martinelli is to turn him into a striker, almost in a RVP sort of way. So I do believe Saka will get his opportunity on the left-hand side. So yes, please do smash those likes, people. Drive those likes up. Get people noticing the video, please. Any chance that Martinelli plays tomorrow? Unfortunately, I don't think he'll start, but I think there's a chance he could play. My worry is he's not been in the benches, like he's not even been in the squads. Now that just could be the fact that we just have such a big squad that there's just not an opportunity to give the kid even a substitute appearance. Now that Lacazette's out, I think that could be a key determining factor as to whether or not we put Martinelli on the bench. So I think realistically, Emery will probably put him in as a sub rather than start him. But this is just what I would do. I would start him. Thank you, mate. Thank you, brother. Let's see that lineup again. Yeah, I'll give you the lineup again. One sec. Is it still up? Yeah, it's still up. Let me give you the lineup again. I was going to do that as an end screen, but fuck it. I'll give you the lineup again. So this is my lineup. Oh, shit. Let me put that back. Just to remind you, Leno in goal, Ainsley Maitland-Niles right back, Chambers, Socrates, Collar, Luis. Reason behind that is just in case we need to change formation, stick 3 at the back, and bomb on Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Collar. We could do that. Got Ceballos here, Guendouzi here, Pepe right, Martinelli left, and Uber up top. So yeah, that would be my starting lineup. Yeah. Good putting Luis at CDM. Yeah, just because there's a chance he could actually perform better in that position. Bellerin and Tierney are forming a good relationship in training. Check out Arsenal. Don Juan, believe me, I religiously watch Arsenal's YouTube channel. I love it. Simply because I find the training stuff fascinating because, you know me, I'm a psychology guy. So I like watching to see who's developing good relationships with who. And I must admit, I did not call Hector Bellerin and Kieran Tierney, but I like it. I like it. Why not? They're both going to be our starting fullbacks moving forward. Why not? Why not? I like it. I must confess, I do like it. I think it's a cute little bromance that they're forming. Plus, I think they're the same age. I think, no, Hector's 24, isn't he? And I think Kieran is 22. So they're similar ages. Thank you again, Rabadan. Hopefully Leicester will spank United today. Kieran Nutmeg and Mustafi is hilarious. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And people wonder why I don't want him playing right back. No, thank you. I love my boy Troops, but my man spoke in that real green with that one. Naja boy, same here. Okay, big up, Brandon. United have a tough one today. Yeah, they do. They do. I don't want Ollie to get fired yet. This is the problem. So I'm kind of hoping that ends up in a draw. You damn Skippy. Damn Skippy. Predictions for United Leicester 0-0. 0-0 I'm going with. But listen, I don't want Leicester to win. Leicester are worrying me a little bit. I ain't going to lie. They're worrying me a little bit. Zamir, thank you for the donation, my man. Good morning, my son. Thank you for the morning fit. Don't know if you necessarily want to see my mug in the morning, but that's my girl's problem. That's my girl's problem. But thank you, my bro. 5-0 Leicester. Oh my gosh. Ceballos has to start, mate. He's been knocking on the door. 100%, 100%. He gets in my team every day. I think Emery will start him. I do think Emery will start him. Because seeing how he came on against Spurs and almost lifted us when he came on, I think Emery has to take notice of that, and I think he'll start him. Martial will be a big miss for United. Agreed. They could decide to shut up shop, but I think that match is at Old Trafford, so they'll be forced to try and play football. Saka and David Luiz. I'm not sure what that's meant to mean. Because Saka ain't in my team, so I'm not sure what that's meant to mean. Keep Ollie at the wheel. Exactly. That's why I don't want them to get smoked. A draw would be a good result for everyone all around. And I actually do. I think it'll be a good result for everyone. Just keeps Leicester, calms Leicester down a little bit. United stay down. And if we can win tomorrow, it just starts to open up a bit of a gap between us. Xhaka or Jesse Lingard? I'd have Jesse all day long. And you guys know I could not stand Jesse Lingard. I'd have his dancing punk ass all day long. I can't with Xhaka. I can't. Because with Jesse Lingard, the one thing I will say for him, the motherfucker isn't literally costing goals. I'd rather have the guy that's not costing goals than the guy that is. All right, guys. One more minute, I'm out of here. But thank you so much for watching me today. Please do hit a like on this video. I'll be back again tomorrow to react to the starting lineup that we actually do put out, which will probably be nothing like mine. And I will obviously do a watch along. So where I will be talking about the game as we're watching it. What else? What else? What else? I'll also do a review, kind of just after the watch along, and then I will also a couple of hours later do player ratings, just so that you guys have that information. Just quickly cover these. I love how Terry finds stats and tables when Man United is leading. It's what Man United fans have to do these days. Shame. I ain't got no sympathy. Other than Spurs, I hate United the most. So I cannot, I have zero sympathy for United fans. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. to watch your video. I'm open to be a mod if you approve. Well, thank you, Kartik. At the moment, I'm good for mods, but you're on my hit list for when I need more. Lingard does nothing though. Yeah, but like I say, Jon Snow, I would rather have the guy who's not costed us goals versus the guy who literally hands the ball to opposition or dives in penalty areas like some sort of idiot. I'd rather have that guy. I'm sorry. I don't rate Lingard either. Believe me, I'm one of the first people to say I don't rate Lingard, and people are like, "What? What?" I've told you. I've told people. If only my boys were present online, they'll tell you straight. I've said Lingard is shit from day one. From day one, I've said he's shit. But like I said, I'd rather the guy that's not costing us goals versus the guy that is. Watch Emre gonna chuck out Ozil on the left. I bet it. Chig, did you see the Sky Sports stat about Xhaka? I don't want to see no more stats because they only get me angry. So I'm not going to do it. Peace out, Don Juan. United fans have to live in reality now. Goddamn glory hunters. Fuck every club apart from Arsenal. Yeah, I'm with that. Most hated are Spuds, Chelsea, United. Nah, not for me. I think it's Spuds, United, Liverpool. I'm sorry. I can't stand Liverpool. Liverpool, and then Chelsea. I don't hate Chelsea that much, I must admit. Oh, no, that's a huge lie. That's a huge lie. Chelsea, then Liverpool. I just realized how racist these fuckers are. Chelsea, then Liverpool. Smash the likes. Moonwalk, Lingard, shit bollocks. And one more. I hate Chelsea a lot. London rivals and club with the most racist fans. I just saw Zamir's comment, and that's what reminded me. Of course, I hate Chelsea more. All right, people. I am out of here because I'm babbling. But please do continue to like this video, and I'm out. Peace.